Hello students, in this question it says, in which of the following situations does the list of numbers involved make an arithmetic progression and why? The first part of this question is the taxi fare after each kilometer when the fare is rupees 15 for the first kilometer and 8 rupees for each additional kilometer. So that means we have to observe the fare after each kilometer. Okay, after each kilometer. This is important. Well, so the fare after first kilometer. When 1 kilometer will be completed, the fare will be 15 rupees. It's mentioned in the question here, 15 rupees. And the fare after second kilometer, when the 2 kilometer will be completed, the fare will become 15 plus 8 because it says 8 rupees for additional kilometers. So 15 plus 8, it becomes 23 rupees. Next is fare after third kilometer. It becomes 15 plus 8 plus 8 because 15 is the first kilometer, second kilometer and then third kilometer. Total becomes 31 rupees. Fare after fourth kilometer becomes 15 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. First kilometer, second kilometer, third kilometer, fourth kilometer. So total becomes 39 rupees. Well, we can find out so many terms, but these 4 terms are sufficient to check out if they are forming an AP. The first term, the fare of the first kilometer is 15 rupees. The second term becomes 23, third term becomes 31, and the fourth term becomes 39, and so on. It will be going that way. If it is an AP, then the difference between the 2 consecutive terms will be always same. So let's see what's the difference between the first 2 terms. Difference is 8. What is the difference between the second 2 terms? Again, the difference is 8. 23 minus 15 is 8. 31 minus 23 is 8. 39 minus 31 is also 8. That means difference is always same. So this is an AP. This is an AP. Okay, we have done this part. Now the next part is the amount of air present in a cylinder when a vacuum pump removes 1/4 of the air remaining in the cylinder at a time. Well, so the amount of air present in a cylinder when a vacuum pump removes 1/4 of the air remaining in the cylinder at a time. Okay, at a time means first time in this initial amount of gas was, suppose 1 liter or whatever. I'm not mentioning here the unit, just 1, because everything as a whole is considered to be 1. So let's assume the gas total as a whole is 1. Second amount, when 1/4 is removed, second amount of gas will be, since 1/4 is being removed, so 1 minus 1/4 will be there, right? Because whatever is removed should be subtracted from the whole. What is remaining is 3/4. And third amount of gas. So once again we have to subtract 1 by 4 from this. 3 by 4 was remaining. Now 1 by 4 is again removed of the air remaining in this. Okay, amount of air present in a cylinder when a vacuum pump removes 1 by 4 of the air. Okay, so we don't have to remove 1 by 4 since it says 1 by 4 of the remaining of 3 by 4, because the remaining was 3 by 4 earlier. So it should be 3 by 4 minus 3 by 8. So if we take LCM, 8 is the LCM, 6 minus 3, it becomes 3 by 8. Remaining amount is 3 by 8. Fourth amount of gas. Earlier remaining was 3 by 8, and we have to subtract 1 by 4 of the remaining, means of 3 by 8. So it becomes 3 by 8 minus 3 by 32. Now if we take LCM, 32 is the LCM, and it will be 12 minus 3. So it becomes 9 by 32. Well, we have found 4 terms out of this AP of this series: first term, second term, third term, and fourth term. These 4 terms are sufficient to check if they are forming an AP or not. 1 is the first term, 3 by 4 is the second term, then 3 by 8, and then 9 by 32, and so on. So what is the difference between the first 2 terms? First 2 terms. Second term minus first term will give 1 by 4, because we had subtracted 1 by 4. So the difference between them is, let's calculate it. It's better to calculate. So we see here A2, the second term minus the first term, gives 3 by 4 minus 1, that is minus 1 by 4. And third term minus second term, A3 minus A2 becomes 3 by 8 minus 3 by 4. So 8 is LCM, 3 minus 6. It becomes here minus 3 by 8. We see differences are not same. Differences between the first 2 terms and the last second pair of terms are not same. So this is not an AP. This is not an AP. The next part we have is this one. It says the cost of digging a well after every meter of digging, when it costs 150 rupees for the first meter and rises by 50 rupees for each subsequent meter. Okay, so cost after digging 1 meter. After digging 1 meter is 150 rupees. First meter, 150 rupees. Similarly, cost after digging 2 meters. So 50 rupees will be increased here. 150 for 1 meter and 50 rupees for the next 1 meter. So total becomes 200 rupees. Now cost after digging 3 meters. 3 meters. We can consider them as first, not just one, not just two, it's second meter. Let's mention it here. Second meter and third meter. Okay, so the cost becomes 150 for the 1 meter, 50 for the second, and 50 for the third one. So total becomes 250 now. 250 rupees. Well, 3 terms are there. Let's find one more. Cost after digging 4th meter becomes 150 for the first meter, 50 for the second, 50 for the third, and 50 for the fourth. So total becomes here 300 rupees. Well, we can find so many terms in this way. Let's collect all those terms and check. The first term is 150, second term is 200, third term is 250, and fourth term is 300. Okay, now let's check if the differences between the two terms are same. Difference between the first two terms is 50. Difference between the next two terms is again 50. Difference between the last two terms is again 50. So we see that the differences between the two terms is always same. So we can say this is an AP. This is an AP. And the answer also. The next part and the last part is amount of money in the account every year. When 10,000 is deposited at compound interest at 8% per annum. So amount after first year. Amount after first year will be 10,000 times 1 plus r by 100 means 8 by 100 raised to the power time. Time is 1 year. Okay. Formula to calculate the compound interest is A equals we get amount this in this formula according to compound interest. So A equals P times 1 plus r by 100 raised to the power t. Well, amount after second year becomes P means 10,000 times 1 plus r by 100, so 8 by 100 raised to the power of the time. We are taking 2 years, so power 2. Amount after third year, it becomes 10,000 times 1 plus 8 by 100 raised to the power 3. Amount after third year, it becomes 10,000 times 1 plus 8 by 100 raised to the power 4. Okay, so we have collected 4 terms, amounts after the consecutive 4 years. Well, so how can we check if they are forming an AP? Just by making the difference. Okay, we see that every time in this one it is multiplying with the same number. The first one is here. If we multiply the first one with 1 plus 8 by 100, we get the second one. And if we multiply the second one with 1 plus 8 by 100, we get the third term. And in the third term, if we multiply 1 plus 8 by 100, we get the fourth term. So every time it is being multiplied by the same number, not added by the same number. Okay, according to the condition of arithmetic progression, the terms should be added with the same number every time. But here the terms are getting multiplied, not added. So we can say finally, this is not an AP. This is not an AP. And that's the answer. Thanks for watching the video.